Bruising Banner Podcast. Bruising Banner Podcast. What up? Welcome to Bruising Banner Podcast. I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, is the Legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
I got water, I got, juice or whatever. He's like, y'all need twin legs? Matter of fact, I do.
My question to everybody is,
does Delaware have an actual culture?
This is the podcast that we talk about beer, but we also talk about a lot of things that's happening in the world, politics, movies, anything really that comes to our mind while we're here sampling these brews. Grab a drink and pull up a chair. Welcome to Bruising Banter Podcast, where the topic be the rocket and the brew. Well, that be the fuel. And I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, the Legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
Yo. What's up, Rob G?
What's going on?
What?
Yo, you like a
Yowzers.
robot.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Oh, now you want to. Now
they want me back.
Yo, and log back in.
15 minutes delay.
Right.
Now you want to log off.
I hope he gets back in.
This is episode.
This is what you see. You get it all up close and personal. That's how you need to say it, Rob.
Yo, he's going. He's going. He's out of there.
I'm not even letting him back in. No,
don't.
Go put him in the holding room, Rob. Put him in the holding room on Zoom.
Yep. This is episode 65 of Bruising Banter Podcast. This is the beginning of our social distancing series where we have guests. I mean, we're all via Zoom, but now we have guests via Zoom as well. So I want to welcome all our guests. We'll introduce them in a second.
That clap was weird. It was short. The hell was the short clap for?
Huh?
The clap
was a long clap. It was a long clap.
Well, we ain't hear a long one, but it's all right.
I'm not sure why.
I'm clapping for with my head.
You'll hear it on the playback.
Okay. There you go.
We'll start with ladies first. We have the Undeniable Vixen here with us.
Welcome.
It's so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be here.
We're glad that you're here.
Yes, absolutely.
You always got some good beers.
See, I've already ran through one, so I'm going to have another one. So.
Oh, there you go.
Don't judge.
No judgment.
Hey, no judgment zone here.
No. We also have Leo from, I guess, BarrelsnLeaf. Is that we want to go with that?
100%, baby. We can go with Leo Brown or BarrelsnLeaf.
Okay. All right.
100%.
I was looking you up too.
You heard him 100. Don't play.
Hey, I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure we got both of them out there.
That's how we get down.
That's how we get down.
And we got Brandon Montgomery from BlackBeerTravelers, or the BlackBeerTravelers.
Yeah.
Be Mont.
He is
Be Mont.
From the West Coast.
That's right, baby. Where you live in the West?
San Diego.
San Diego. Awesome.
San Diego Nights.
Southern Cal.
Now, Leo, you're in San Diego as well, right?
Yeah, man.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So how y'all feel about
we representing the coast today.
So how y'all feel about Anchorman?
Anchorman? That's a San Diego.
That is a San Diego classic, man. Brandon hit it on the head. San Diego classic.
Fuck you, San Diego.
Keep it classy.
Oh, vagina.
Yo, I'm just a little upset, man. I didn't, when I got the invite from Rob, I said, yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead and go with it. But I just realized that Rob said this is episode 65. And, I was thinking maybe, and excuse me, Undeniable Vixen, but, I was thinking maybe 69. I don't know. I'm sorry.
See, that's the one I did wait. And did wait for 69 to come up. He nasty.
Dirty Dad, they call me. Nasty Dad, whatever they nickname me for the time. Whichever.
I think we'll hit that in May, I think. 69.
When it's warm.
Okay.
Yeah. right around Memorial Day.
What can I say?
That barbecue.
Yeah. Barbecue.
Without ribs.
Which you guys will all be invited to. I'm going to show y'all how to lay it out.
Yo, we not coming.
Oh, you coming?
I'm not coming.
No, you coming.
It's gonna be all ribs at his barbecue. He ain't gonna have nothing else but ribs.
Ribs and potato salad. Well, I mean, ribs.
That's what I said. It's like potato salad.
Nah, that's not how that works.
Whether you eat it or not, it has to be there.
You mean it's gonna be no burgers or hot dogs? It's ribs and potato salad.
Come on, hockey puck hamburgers. No.
Yeah, come on. Who just want hockey pucks and freaking poles? That don't even sound good.
Hockey pucks, though.
Hey, Devin, you gonna stop bringing up this rib conversation?
Yo, you got the audience. You got the audience heated about it. Come on, don't act like I brought it
up. The audience heated about it because you was the wrong one.
I mean, in Texas, we just cut off the tail and serve it. So
Right.
I just,
Yeah, let her speak. Let Undeniable Vixen speak because we really didn't give her, her moment. I feel like we was shadowing over her voice.
No.
I heard her. I was ignoring her. Because she on your side.
I mean, come on. I mean, Texas and barbecue go hand in hand. Forget about Kansas City. Texas, we always know how to do it.
I thought it was all about Kansas City.
Around.
But whatever.
Right.
We do it.
So like I said, like how can a barbecue joint set up shop and not have a staple barbecue rib? Then
I think the issue that you
then the links, then all the other things that come
That's
after.
the problem.
It's the problem. The staple is the problem. Take the word staple out.
Not staple.
Staple means.
Staple is that's it. For a barbecue.
I have to give it to Yoda. If Yoda does not necessarily have ribs at his barbecue, and it is something that everybody loves, that is a testament to you. So if you do that, and you don't
You're the only one looking for ribs. Ain't nobody ever been in my house and said, "Yo, where the ribs at?" Never, ever. Never.
Wow.
Never.
Everybody looking for burgers and dogs. That's just the way.
Right. Where the burgers and dogs at? Now, if it happens to be some ribs there, then okay, cool.
I've been to his house. I don't know if I've been to a barbecue yet. That I know you have many parties. I can't remember barbecue specific. However, I do know specifically you buy turkey burgers for who? This guy right here, Rob G. Right?
Turkey.
You eat beef, but he still buy turkey burgers because he's appealing to his guests. Well, one of y'all eat it. I know it's some of y'all. You know what I mean. What I'm saying is.
My guests
like she said, it's a testament to you. You know your guests are coming. You know what your guests like. You accommodate your guests. You know who your guest list is.
All right. So we killed that.
We're gonna beat that horse dead.
Right.
Yeah.
So before we get too far,
hate to be wrong on this.
we need to know what everybody is drinking today. Whoever wants to start can go ahead.
Ooh, big can.
Since I got the terrible connection, I got this Union Craft Old Pro.
Get him out the way.
Oh, where he come from?
It tastes great. Let's fill it. It's a 4%er from Union Craft. Our boys out down in Baltimore.
Yeah, shout out to Kev the Brewer.
And what you call it? And what is it?
It's called Old Pro. It's a Gose.
Or Goza?
Goza.
It's a Goosey.
Oozy. That's a woozy. That's a woozy. Nice.
And Dev, what you got?
So yesterday, brand new can released by Crooked Hammock. Just released yesterday. This is a Delaware brewery. This is their daytime pajamas. Released yesterday at 7.1 ABV. And it's a actual wheat peach ale. So it's very, very light, spring, just vibrant for the taste buds. So we'll get a little bit more into the flavors.
That's all right.
What you got, yo?
What I got is Sawtooth Nitro, and this is from Left Hand Brewing Company out of Colorado, Mont, Colorado. And this is an amber ale, and it's 5.3 alcohol by volume.
Okay,
it's pretty smooth. It's pretty smooth.
The Undeniable Vixen, what do you have drinking?
Okay, this is Smittox.
Smittox. Our boy. Our boy.
So this one is a Happy Amber white with Happy Amber with Eldorado, Columbus, and Armadillo hops, 5.8 ABV, and this is my grandmama gave me that chain.
Oh, shit. grandma gave me that
I don't know when the hell I'm ever seeing anybody.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna pop it.
That's right. That's a great name.
That's a great name for a beer.
Leon, what you drinking on today?
Yo, always represent good old Abnormal, man. This is
Abnormal. I like that.
Vivid Dreams.
Okay.
It is a 8.4.
Oh,
and this is a hazy double IPA. Which this one here is not that usual double hazy. It's very juicy. It has some dank citrus in it and some pine dominant, but it's very, very smooth, man. Very juicy. So it's not that your granddaddy's IPA, if you will. So
Got you.
It's good, man. Delicious. I will say, pass me another.
Good.
And Brandon, what are you drinking on today?
Well, let me pour up a little bit more.
There you go.
He do like I do. Like while I'm talking about it, I'm usually pouring. Go ahead. I like it.
So we got a Thunderhawk Alements, black-owned brewery out of San Diego, with the collaboration with the meadery called Lost Cause. It's their Shady Neighbors too. It's an imperial stout with like honey, cacao nibs, coconut. And it's nice, drinkable, subtle sweetness with like a strong, dark, roasty malt profile. Definitely, you want to drink, enjoy, and have another.
Nice.
All right. And I guess I'll tell you what I'm drinking. I am drinking.
Last but not least.
I got one. I have the Kayaza Oat Elixir. It is a oatmeal chocolate stout. It's Kayanza, I guess. It's a city they make the coffee. I guess the coffee is from Kayanza. A city in Burundi or something like that. But it is it's from Bellefonte Brewery.
Ah, nice.
And it is a collaboration with our local coffee chain, Brew Ha. So it's a collaboration with them. So you have, I'm not sure what that. It's like a little. I don't know what that's on that. I don't know what that is. It's like a little animal. It's
with blonde hair or something. I don't know what.
Like a bad Goldilocks.
It's like a cat.
Is that a monk robe? Is that a robe?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because you got like
some sorcery, a little candle, a little robe. Yeah.
It's a elixir, so probably all that.
I see.
Alchemist.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, 7% ABV. So it sounds like everybody drinking on something nice. You got two?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I just bought this up for what I'm done my beer.
That's good. But I got two too. I'm going to I got a sour from Mississippian River. That's another local brewery. It got strawberry puree in it. I'm gonna taste it later. I'll let you know. It was sour.
All right. Well,
we lost.
I went to the kitchen because I'm cooking bacon.
Got that slime.
I thought we went to go get another album cover. See, I thought I fucked y'all up with this one. Wait until I get the next one.
All right. Well, since we do have
just the FYI, Brandon also won the pour challenge. He won.
I saw that. Yeah. The pour.
What a great
I saw that.
picture.
Yeah.
So
that was pretty cool.
That would be the other album cover.
Yeah. That was like that.
My coordination ain't like that.
The
pour look challenge by
the pour challenge.
Uncap everything and
The
beer lady or something like that.
Yeah.
Something.
I can't remember her name.
Neither. But it was like he had the beer like this, like over his head type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was Photoshop. No.
Yeah, it was.
Oh no,
it was perfect.
I don't know. Yeah. We amongst the greats. I always say, Yeah.
So. Glad because I got that sky hook.
He can still hear what
he can hear. It still work. His ears still work. He multitasking.
I wasn't mad. I forgot to mention. I do have my BlackBeerTraveler passport glass as well.
Yes.
We ain't even gonna talk about that glass. We're not gonna talk about that glass.
What happened to your glass?
What happened to your glass?
Oh no! What happened to your glass? No.
Let me tell you. Yeah, I used the glass. It was my favorite glass, right? So what happened was that it was my favorite glass, and I found it in the sink with a bunch of dishes. So I kind of like snapped on everybody in the house, like, yo, who put my glass in the sink with all these dishes? So I take it out and sit it to the side, and I go to start grabbing the dishes, and I knock the damn thing in the sink and broke the damn glass. I'm like, yo, see, that's what I get.
karma. Cheers to karma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pull it out and pour something in it, wash it, and put it back in the box.
Yeah, see, I left mine on the counter, and somebody decided just to put it in the sink. But so I just
I try to segregate my glasses too, Yoda, that same way. Like I put them like to the back of the sink or a little area to the right of the sink. Say, look, you can wash and put everything else in, but look, I want to handle this area.
Right, yeah.
All right.
I want to take care of that.
That's great about the glassware. All right, like I said, we do have 3 illustrious guests that we need to get into.
Everything but
they know how we clown. They know what we do.
Right. But
they get like 15 minutes to get started every time.
Right.
This is normal.
We actually been recording for 20, so we've been. But y'all haven't said it. But you've only been recording for 10.
Yeah, I got 10 minutes. I'm back though, baby.
A little bit.
Partially.
I'm gonna save it for later. I'm gonna save my comment for later because it has nothing to do with what's next, and it'll send us down a whole different tangent. So
so don't do it.
I appreciate that. Like I said, we'll jump into our guests, and it's just a brief introduction in terms of what they do, who they are. Like I said, how they got into the beer game, and we're going to start with ladies first. We're going to start with the Undeniable Vixen. So
Moni in the middle.
Well, thank you very much. So I am the Undeniable Vixen. I'm located in Dallas, Texas. And I have actually been in the craft beer industry probably like 7 to 10 years. And basically how I came to it, sitting on my couch, nothing to do. And I got a phone call from a friend. And she was like, hey, I'm at this beer festival. I'm working in Texas sun. Summertime, somebody had too many beers and too much sun. I really need you to help me out.
Come get me.
And she said, I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll pay you $20 an hour. I'll be there in 15 minutes. So that pretty much started me in. I had nothing to do with beer. Basically, I was pouring it, didn't know anything about it, was scared of it because my first inclination with beer was my grandfather Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull. And if that's what beer was, I didn't have nothing to do with it. And I actually was standing by Wells Banana Nut Bread Beer, and I scoffed that beer. I was like, if that's because I got thirsty, I was like, okay, let me just have a little bit. That's my introduction to craft beer, as well as thinking back in my mind, I actually went to Munich back in 1980, blah, 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 blah. So those two things kind of hit together, and that's what started me on it. So I'm a brand ambassador. So I go out and I sell craft beer and market it. So that's what I've been doing. Pretty much, my side hustle that allows me to travel, to see all you good people, to ship beer, to get beer. So that's what I do.
Undeniable Vixen, to that last piece or component of marketing and being a brand ambassador for different breweries, how do you run into any challenges trying to market for all the different brews and then having any conflicts, or how do you make that work for you in such a high competitive market?
Yeah, it can be really challenging, especially because you're depending on where I'm at, because I can be at grocery stores, I can be at liquor stores. The grocery stores are probably more harder because I'm going to run into my Coors Michelob crowd.
Oh yeah,
and they're going to pass by me. And my motto is try it when it's free.
Right.
So, just trying to get people just to engage. So I might do some different things as far as my table to kind of welcome them in, especially during the holidays. I might put on something, extra.
Yeah, attention grabber.
Yeah, to get people to do it, to come and have a sip. So and with, you know, everything's going on, like, I would probably say like the last week, that was probably my last check that I got from my, you know, because I'm an independent contractor.
Yep.
So I'm technically furloughed from that job. So I'm really interested to see how we come back to the new normal. If we're going to even have that available. But yeah, I do beer, wine, and liquor. So I always have beer, wine, and liquor in my house.
Yeah. Which brings me to, you know, another question. Just as mentioned, you said, you know, that job has been furloughed. It was interesting to see, at least here in Delaware, and I don't know what the climate looks like really outside of our surrounding states, but in terms of essential businesses that were kept open, it was funny for me to see that, you know, liquor store still made that list of being one of the things open.
It was funny. You need liquor at this time.
Shocking, but it was also like brought a smile on my face. It was like, oh, good, you know, like, okay.
But they say
crazy. And Texas is like #1 for high alcohol sales right now.
But they said it's essential because you don't also want to bring in the withdrawal people from the alcohol. So that's why that's why it's essential, because they won't want to crush the healthcare with all the withdrawal people who don't get their liquor. So that's why they kept them up. That's why it's essential.
And they're pretty much, I mean, for the most part, as far as like restaurants, they're trying to pair it, because we have a lot of local breweries. That's all they do. So they've been trying to pair with local, like food trucks or something like that, to pair with them together to be able to cover that little updated reprieve from Greg Abbott to have, if you have food, you can do beer to go. Because we just got beer to go.
Right. So, I saw that.
It's been a true hustle for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dope.
Which is crazy, because when you think of Texas, you think like, wow, like, everything goes.
We are in the Bible Belt. We are the Bible Belt.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right.
Well, you know, blessings to you. Make sure, you know, I know a lot of us are kind of strategizing while we have the time to figure out how we can, you know, just reinvent ourselves, reinvent the wheel, think outside the box, just with, you know, everything that we're kind of going through while quarantined. So, you know, blessings on your journey.
Yeah, I'm just trying to support my local people. You know, because I do have a full-time job. So if I can support, that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good.
All right.
I'll let everybody else ask questions if they got some.
Anybody else had a question?
Nah, man, you asked all the damn questions up.
Right. I do share the stage though. So
I did one question, and it's about it's always about the probably the IG handle. So where did you come up with the Undeniable Vixen?
Yeah.
So.
And the logo, because the logo as well.
Long time ago.
And do you still have that glass that I drink out of?
I was my handle was Veggie Vixen because I was a vegetarian.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was a very stronghold vegetarian. Look,
he perked up down there, didn't he?
Yo, look at me face though. He said, "Bill, bullshit."
You stop eating this bacon. Listen to me. I was a vegetarian, yes. And I was the kind of kid that got beat for not eating vegetables. I thought macaroni and cheese was a vegetable.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
and just all of a sudden, I just started just really loving vegetables and started really and still, I'm hard pressed to have eggs, bread, or milk in my house because I just stopped eating it. When I became a cancer survivor because I had thyroid cancer. Okay. You know, doctors was like, you need to go ahead and just try to eat something. Food. Although I know in my heart of hearts that I can get everything that I need from vegetables. Plant-based diet. Okay. I'm scared. So I went ahead and had that steak. So I still have the veg tendency. I'm still a veg head. So the hashtag, usually what I try to do is never deny yourself. Be
Right. Okay.
So you never deny yourself of different things, different experiences.
Yep.
That's why I changed it to Undeniable Vixen. So that's
Okay.
where
Awesome.
it's from.
Word, that's
I
good.
like that. That's
I like
So
it.
with that and crowns, and like I'm a Prince fan. I love crowns, so I have crown everything. So you can see Prince in the background over there.
All
I'm
right,
a Star Wars
okay.
fan. You see
Yeah,
my
I'm a background observer too. I'm like,
yes.
He's a creep, is what that is.
So, yeah,
pay attention to surroundings. I can
love,
tell
like,
Brandon's pretty an avid reader. I see a lot of
Yo, you are creepy. Is that Dr. Seuss that I see?
I'm laughing at him. Y'all encouraging when y'all laugh at him. Don't laugh at him.
Engineering.
Say that again. That's for scenery.
That's all my electrical engineering undergraduate books.
Okay.
Okay, you can't throw them away. You paid too much money for them.
That's
Right.
great.
Yeah, right. They got to be out on display.
I don't know. All right. Any more questions for the Undeniable Vixen before we?
Yeah, when you gonna send us some more bits? Yo, them little sweet bit. What is it? The slushy?
Shipment.
What was it? The slushy?
I so definitely need to go back to 903 real bad, real bad. But it's like an hour away from my house.
Listen, if you do go,
Okay.
please let me know. I'll cash app you if I need
But
to.
yes,
You have to cash
I'm
out
going to
with the
make it
gas
tomorrow.
money.
Yeah, I don't mind. I give it all.
it is such a wonderful, expensive habit to ship me around. I love doing it. But coffee, the food, she's like, and she knows that she's cheap. She's like, that's expensive. You know what you're doing? I was like, I didn't think I knew what I was doing.
Right.
But
It's all right.
but then on the other hand, I mean, I have like 20 cases of whatever.
Right.
I got to get rid of it. I can't
Right.
drink it all.
Right.
Just share it.
Yo, if you
All
do drink it all, make sure you record it. Okay.
And then I'll be doing the Zoom from like Devin from the bathroom.
Right. Got
Not
me?
gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
See? People don't forget.
I told you were sitting on the toilet backwards. Nasty.
Get out of here. I need my privacy.
All right. All right. Before we go, we're gonna jump into our next guest, Leo. Is it from Barrels and Leaf, or because you also have a podcast as well?
Yes, it is. My name is Leo Brown. I am Barrels and Leaves. The podcast is called Hanging with Barrels and Leaves because just like we're doing right now, we're just hanging out. So
Yeah,
I make the show just like that. We're just hanging out, nothing serious. What I always tell my guests is like, look, I'm not Oprah, I'm not Dr. Phil. We're just gonna sit and chill,
Yeah.
So that's just the way I like to do it, man. But no, what I do is I pair cigars to beer, spirits, wines, and non-alcoholics.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, Undeniable Vixen. We got to talk after this.
Right.
So,
Just went to church.
man,
The church say amen.
And wait for it to get hot enough so I can get my
Yeah, but no, originally born and raised in Chicago. I'm a Navy dude, just retired.
Nice.
And,
Congrats.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
So appreciate all that. But no, I came out here to San Diego, wanted to retire in San Diego, got my chance to come back out here, and been here for the past 8 years now, almost going on in May. Been here 8 years, and that's basically what I do. So I pair a lot of cigars to beers, spirits, wines, and non-alcoholics. I also work at a cigar lounge out here in San Diego called Excalibur Cigar Lounge. Whenever you guys come through, you want a cigar, let me know. So, but yeah, other than that, man, pretty much what got me into craft beer was when I came back out here. I came out here in 2012, and I went to my cigar lounge out here, which used to be one location when they just opened up another one called Habanos. And came out here like, what is this craft beer thing? You know what I'm saying? So my man, who I call my uncle, calls me nephew. He's like, here, you try this Ballast Point. And it was the Sculpin IPA. So I was like, yo, this ain't Granddaddy's Michelob. So I started testing more and more and more. And I was like, okay, so I need to get into this craft beer thing. So essentially that's what happened, man. I mean, it just grew over the last 8 years of getting my knowledge, meeting good people like Brandon. Me and Brandon met through a mutual group called Brothers and what is it, Brandon? Brothers and Craft Beer.
Yeah. Brothers in Craft.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's how we initially met, and you know we chatted it up a little bit out there, and then last year, Brandon actually caught me at Abnormal for my birthday. We just ran into each other, and boom, you know, just having a good time, man, with this craft beer industry. So that's how I got started.
That's awesome.
So how'd you get into cigars and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Man, I love telling this story. I'm gonna make it quick though. So I've been married twice, and my ex-wife, I came home from a deployment, and she saw the stress on my face, and she said, "Do you smoke cigars at all?" And I was like, "Nah." She said, "Maybe you should." So I thank her for getting me into cigars. Yeah.
Hey.
So relaxing. Oh my God, it's so relaxing.
so she would have said, "Yo, you ever had cocaine before?" Maybe you should try. You'd be like, "All right."
Hey, who knows? Maybe it's a different podcast today.
Right.
Maybe it might be snorting with barrels and leaves. I don't know.
Right. That's what's up. Good stuff.
That's funny, yo. That's funny.
Do you have like a favorite cigar that you?
Yeah.
So I have a favorite manufacturer. I do have a favorite manufacturer. Yes, I can say that Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust is my favorite manufacturer. A lot of people like to ask me that question, like, you know, what's your favorite cigar? Dude, I smoke cigars daily, like 4 to 5 different cigars on a regular.
Okay.
This quarantine life got me kind of stuck back a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I smoke on a regular, man. So it's kind of hard for me to say what's a favorite. But I will say that my favorite manufacturer is Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust.
Okay.
They keep my palate right, kind of like Abnormal does my palate.
Do you have a favorite pairing?
Ooh, that's a good one, Lou. I did one of my favorite pairings that I did do was the Drew Estate Norteño with the Michter's American bourbon. So that was one of my favorite pairings. I mean, just across the board, just opened up the palate, just made everything just jump off the palate, man. It was a lot of fun, man. Thank you for that question. I love that question.
No doubt.
So may I ask a question?
Yeah,
Of course you can.
So one of the cigar bars that I went to, I was watching a gentleman. He was dipping his cigar in his cognac.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Dangerous.
what do you feel about that, or is that a thing? Is that something that
Or was he just trying it?
So
I mean, I've seen people do it, and I've heard it, but I don't know. I'm still completely a novice at cigar smoking.
Okay.
But I have a lot of cognacs and bourbons and rums in my house.
The dipping.
Should I be dipping?
I like it. So my answer to that is just like beer is very subjective. Okay. I always let people know that off the rip. So it's very subjective. So with me, I suggest not to do it because of 2 different reasons. One is that you're tearing away the natural flavors from the wrapper that the cigar was made to give. Right. The second thing is that you're actually clogging up that cigar to make it hard for you to possibly get a draw off of it. So that's one I see a lot of people do it. I don't knock anybody for how they, I mean, if you like to make your pancakes with blueberries, that's fine with me. I just I tell people the stories behind it, the education behind it, which that's part of what I do with Barrels and Leafs, is that it's cigar pairing education. So I let people know is that you can get those same flavors if you go ahead and drink while you smoke that cigar.
Okay, right.
Now the question. Okay, a question that just popped into my head as we got more into the cigar conversation. Now, with people who smoke cigarettes or people who smoke chronic, we inhale. Why is there this stigma with cigars that you cannot or you shouldn't inhale? That you're just trying to kind of pull on the cigar and blow the smoke out? I don't know if I ever got a true answer to that question.
So two answers to that question. So one, the reason you don't want to inhale because you don't want to pass out. Point blank.
That's
you
too much tobacco at one time. Is that what it is?
it's too much nicotine at one time.
Too much nicotine at one time.
Right. So if you hear people, if they finish a cigar, they're like, man, I feel like I'm drunk. Well, that's what's called a nicotine high, right? So you have a lot of nicotine going through the blood. So if you could imagine inhaling a cigar, you're gonna be done. You're gonna pass.
They're gonna act like he ain't go through that. He had that.
I've only had a couple cigars like at like bachelor parties.
Yeah,
you know, to that extent, like people to give them out or whatever, and I've always try to adhere to what people say. Like, yo, don't inhale that. So I just kind of did it for the fun. Let the cigar burn out.
I'm smoking it.
Okay, give a shot if you want to, Yoda. But no, the other side to that, man, is that what you're trying to do with the cigar is that you're actually trying to get the flavors from it. You know, so it's not like chronic. It ain't like, you know, smoking a cigarette. You're actually trying to get the flavors from it. So there's different nuances that you get from it, just like you get from beer. You know, as we can distinguish different notes and stuff like that, it's the same.
That's why some people don't even light them. They just put them in their mouth and just.
Yo, all right, Clint Eastwood, go ahead.
Leo, I got a question for you.
Yo,
you're drinking a double IPA from Abnormal, right? Currently. Yep. And you said it's juicy and more on the tropical aspect.
Mm-hmm.
What cigar would you pair with that right now?
There you go.
Man, here you go.
I was shocked that he didn't have one already.
No, that is true. I thought he would have had one too.
The only reason, like I said, is quarantine life got me kind of, you know, in the house. I don't want to try to travel out and be stupid, you know. But what would I put with this cigar? I mean, what I put this beer right now, I would have to go with something like a more tropical or fruity kind of cigar. When I say fruity, I don't mean like, you know, something that's infused. So I would go with something like the Avo Ritmo, which has a lot of floral notes with it. So because of the sweetness and also with the tobacco being a little bit bitter, it'll kind of counterbalance, kind of like what you did with the stout and the bacon.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Okay.
There it is.
Bacon back some kind of way.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Dutch Masters and Garcia Vegas?
Ooh.
To each his own, brother.
Okay.
You know,
so question.
No. I'm asking you. Because I've never smoked
his
one of
own.
those.
He said he answered your question.
He said no.
No way.
No way.
Keep rolling. You cutting that open and rolling what other stuff you rolling it.
Thank you. There you go, Jeff. I'm done.
Use that as a shell. That's a shell. Got you.
Yeah, that's what I used them.
That's what I used to use when I lived out on the West Coast.
That's just like if you ask me about white owl, what do you think I'm gonna do with a white owl?
Right, yeah.
Exactly. That's what it's used for.
Yeah. Just checking.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, brother, no doubt. I appreciate it.
Yo, Lou, if you can grab a cigar from the corner store, that ain't it, dog.
That ain't the one.
Oh.
That is not a cigar. Like, that's not it.
It shouldn't be a dollar.
Yeah, for $3. Nah.
Oh, that's fact right there.
Got them on sale.
For $6.
All right. Let's move on. Last but not least,
He ready. Look at him.
He's ready. He's popping his collar. Yo, that's that Cali flavor when you pop that collar. He's like, oh, okay.
That was that. Another album coming
Let's
up.
do it.
yeah. Last but not least, we have Brandon Montgomery, the BlackBeerTravelers. If you're on Instagram, what's going on? How are you? And like we asked everybody else, who are you? How you get here? Not here, but where you at? And what did you do to get into craft beer and all that?
Yeah, so Brandon Montgomery, A.B. Mont. Originally from Marietta, Georgia, but now live in San Diego, California. And I got into craft beer in 2011 on my first international trip to Japan. And went to a Delirium Tremens cafe, or Delirium Cafe in Tokyo. Loved it. Learned about all the Belgian styles, Trappist monks, beers. And since then, just been doing my best to introduce people into craft and like gain more knowledge. And I think it came down to 2018 when I just pushed forward and actually took a hashtag that I created like years earlier to build out an entire brand.
Mm-hmm.
And with that brand, I'm highlighting the excellence that is already, the diverse excellence already in craft beer. Also introducing people to craft beer, and then also just connecting people within craft beer. And that's going strong. It's a lot of fun. Social media is a beast. If you're willing to put in some work to be active and really bring something to light that you feel like is important, it's something that you'll enjoy and you'll have no problem taming it. So yeah, I'm out.
Perfectly put, man. Perfectly put.
Having a good time, enjoying the podcast and the Zooming and all the physical social distancing that
it's a lot of it.
So,
which is 9%. So
Shit.
you feeling pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta hit them high.
Start off slow.
Why was Japan your first introduction to beer? Is it a big beer community out there?
Yo, just text me the question. I'll say.
They can hear me in the chat. I can do that.
Yes, there's actually a very large craft beer following in Japan, especially Tokyo. When I first went there were 2 Delirium tap rooms. There was this one beer bar called Beer Bar Popeye that had over 70 taps.
Wow.
And it was it probably is, that one space probably is less than 1,000 square feet, but it has 70 taps consistently. And craft beer is big there. I happened to get introduced to craft beer by a coworker. And that to this day, that's one of my best friends. We basically just send each other beer mail seasonally, just 6 bottles, just sight unseen, just here you go. So yeah, that's how I got into craft. That's why it was Japan. But after Japan, it's been around the world, from China to Amsterdam to the UAE to Jordan to Romania, Costa Rica.
What brings you out to these countries?
Sometimes it's work. Sometimes it's just independent travel. It's anywhere I go, I search out the local craft beer and try to learn a little bit more about the culture. Because with everything that you're drinking, everything that you're enjoying, partaking, there's a story behind it. There's some heritage. There's an experience that actually led somebody to creating what's in your glass, what's on your plate. And so that's how we get to diversify your palate and do something more than what you already are comfortable doing.
Right.
And what's the spot that you've been to that's been your favorite, out of the country spot that has some good beers?
Favorite out of the country spot?
Yeah.
I actually plan to go back to Tokyo this year. I want to go back to the Delirium Tap Room. Nagasaki has a pretty cool little beer scene. Where else that I just like to kick? Rome. Beer Bar Balladin. Balladin is an Italian brewery that has a number of spots, but there's one that I went to in Rome that was just dope as hell. Ended up meeting some random American there, and then we just hung out all day and tasting beers and just picking it.
So random American.
and
That's
and
what
Lou,
happens, yeah.
Lou, you asked him why he doing all that. Devin set him up for that lightweight flex when he said, "Oh, these are just my engineering books from undergrad." So you know you're an engineer,
right? You know you're an engineer.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just an engineer. Yeah.
This is what I do for fun. This is what I do for fun.
Yo, and I think Brandon's being modest too, man.
He's being incredibly modest.
If I'm not mistaken, you are now able to judge beers.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I was listening to you while you was describing your beer, and in my mind, I'm like, this dude is a straight beer judge.
Oh, he's Cicerone, right? Didn't you get
Yeah, he's Cicerone.
Yeah.
Level 1 certified beer server on the Cicerone side, and then I'm waiting to figure out exactly when my scores for BJCP are going to come back, but I'm provisional. Okay. I've already judged one competition, but pretty much trying to grow my knowledge in both arenas. And like really understand what craft beer is and kind of have those credentials. So if I walk into a room and somebody just wants to like talk, I
start talking shit.
I can put my on the table.
Right.
Bam. Okay.
Yeah. He's been modest because he's been in like magazines and all.
Right.
So yeah.
Thank you.
I've just been doing. I've just been doing me a little bit.
He was like, because he said you already saw the picture. Ain't no need.
That's why I said earlier.
I gotta say too much.
We walk amongst the greats, man. We walk amongst the greats.
I have a question. So Brandon, when do you feel like you've made the transition to just regular, I enjoy craft beer, to I am literally a force to be reckoned with. I am someone that is an aficionado, someone's going to pick my brain and know that I'm going to give you excellent response to beer.
Right.
When did it
I feel like there are two answers to that. I have my personal answer, and my personal answer would be I won't feel that way until like consider myself a master or I have like master level credentials. Mm-hmm. But like outside of that, in general conversation, like most people may already believe I have like a good understanding and be more than open to like ask me like for a general recommendation. So like I set myself to a higher standard than maybe someone else that is not myself. So I could give you a recommendation now, but I also know that I have like a lot further to go.
Okay. All right. He trying to be the beer version of the guy from Uncorked. I got you.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up that show Uncorked.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I haven't watched it either.
Really good.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. You, Brandon, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it 4 times.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yo, because he trying to make moves. That's why he watches it.
I really feel this. Yeah.
Now, question to that point of watching it 4 times. Was it a lot about it that you could identify with? What made you kind of go back to it? Because if you watch something 4 times, that's deemed as a classic. Like a Love Jones or a Love and Basketball. Those are movies that you watch multiple times. So what made you watch it 4 times?
Yeah, the overall story, they brought together a very like actual like message and and like situations. Like I think it at the beginning talks about like, I had to take this 3 times or I had to take this twice. These
so you get it.
Are hard as hell. Like
it's no joke.
The intro exam for BJCP, I took it 3 times, and I'm like, like you really have to study and like really understand and like have some like desire to do this, because it's not like you're not gonna get into it to like make money. Right. It's all about like how you feel about yourself and your own excellence. Like you can eventually make money like down the line, but those first like 10, 15 years, this is all because you love it.
You love it. Okay.
And that's what you see, and people are doing this on top of what they're already living. Like when trouble's at home and you still gotta study, you gotta balance.
I know.
And so that's why I enjoyed the movie, and like you see the challenge and the understanding and the breaking down and like I think one of the best parts of it was when he met the girl at the wine shop, and he like related wine styles to hip hop artists.
To the music, right? That was hot.
You got to like really figure out exactly how to reach the person you're talking.
Connect with them.
If you're just like spouting off these varietals and like these regions to somebody that has no understanding, it's just like now you just look like you talking gibberish. Yeah.
Right. Well, shout out to Princess Penny and Insecure coming back next Sunday.
Yeah, it was next Sunday, Rob.
Yeah,
I thought it was later in April, but good.
Yo.
Okay.
No, April 12th.
Yo, B, you gotta reach out to the Travel Channel and see if they'll give you a show.
A show, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, that'd be a dope show, yo.
All right,
I'm telling you.
I would enjoy that.
Yo, don't forget I said that.
You want a production credit?
Right? You want the little letters.
Yo, and by the way, my passport ready. When you try to go to Tokyo, I'm ready, yo. I'm ready.
It's so funny. I was actually supposed to be going to Tokyo with some friends, but we never discussed beer. We never discussed it.
Wow.
Well, that's a mistake, ain't it?
I mean, and I'm thinking about Delirium, and I'm thinking that's a German beer. Like, wow,
Belgium.
that's amazing.
Belgium.
Okay. Yeah, I never really thought about that in Tokyo. So that gives me more of a desire to go, because I was like, I wasn't all that jazzed about going. Right. I wanted to go to
want to hear something crazy?
Somewhere else. Huh?
There's a black-owned barbecue spot in Yokohama, Japan.
Oh.
Wow.
Do they have ribs?
They got ribs.
No, they got ribs.
That shit ain't that. That ain't that staple though.
And craft.
You say, Brandon?
And they got craft beer.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Actually, be kind of dope since it is BlackBeerTravelers. Like if you had like curated, like travel events like that, that'd be kind of cool. Like I think like Travel Noir do kind of things.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, Travel Network.
That's another idea.
I was gonna say, don't give Brandon too many ideas, man.
He gonna go with it.
Well, he probably keep himself up at night with all these ideas.
I mean, he started with the passport.
Baconator.
I'm mad at you, B. I am not mad at you. I love bacon too.
Baconator.
Right?
Yeah, that's a baconator for real.
All right. Any more questions for our guest? Or does the guests have questions for each other?
I gotta get with my man B. You know, since we're in the same vicinity, we gotta hook up again and go share a beer, man, for sure.
Yeah, there you go. Why not?
Definitely.
After quarantine.
Yeah, after quarantine.
This is probably the most sober that I've been around Brandon, because the last time we were at Fresh Fest. At a bar.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I can actually ask questions.
Yeah.
Glad y'all didn't call me last night.
Remember what I asked.
Yeah,
Yo.
I think by the time I got to the passport thing, I was a little tipsy as
Yeah,
well.
me too.
So I was like, yeah, give me the beer.
Yeah, me too.
Once general admission was it was time for general admission to come in. Lou and I didn't recognize those two dudes.
Yeah, we was already done.
We was done. So I was arguing with somebody by that time about the glass or one of the beers or something. I was like, yo, I won. She was like, no, I won. I was like, nah, I won.
All right. We do got the games, but I'm gonna take a quick pause for a second so I can grab another beer. If anybody needed to just grab something real quick.
All right.
You said, if y'all have ever had Baba Black Sheep, this is like so good.
Where's that from?
Baba Sheep, it's out of Houston. Shout out to Rita Drinks. She brought me some stuff that was just so good. And this is called a lamb and jam. So this is Berlin Whites with raspberries, strawberries, and cherry fruit pie.
Oh, okay.
And the way that it pours.
Oh, that thing is like That thing is real juicy. That thing is like a
It looks like a smoothie.
That thing like a smoothie.
Yeah.
That's probably Lou's favorite beer right there. I see you, Lou.
Lou.
Y'all do my man Lou wrong.
Mooshy Lou.
He like what he like.
Slushy Lou, right? He like Goosies and Slushy Lou's.
Yes. I got my 17% drip glassware, of course. This is
Y'all are way cooler than we are. I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
Well, damn, Shazam.
That was 2001 because of the album.
Right.
The album was based like the cover and everything.
That was the 91. That was 9/11.
Yeah. Because he wasn't going to drop it, but he said not. Might as well.
Here go Lou all late and wrong after we done.
I was on time. It's just slow. I was on time. It was just slow.
Yeah. He just catching up.
ARS-1 dropped the blueprint though.
Yes.
What did you say?
When?
When?
ARS-1 dropped the blueprint.
89.
88.
I don't know. I was just asking.
I thought he knew the answer.
He had everybody thinking.
Lou, you frozen?
Yo.
Lou chilling.
Lou Billy in the corner.
Lou like this.
In the cut.
Yo, why Leo keep calling him baby in the corner? Yo, I don't think that shit funny. Look.
I can't tell if he frozen or if that's just his look.
That's his dad. That's his dad face.
I was trying to hold it. I couldn't hold it. Y'all made me laugh.
All right, here we go.
Yo, you stupid. Wait, what's happening right now?
That's his game music.
Show music.
Oh, that shit sounds terrible.
It was like 2 seconds, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, welcome to Two Truths and a Lie. I'm your host, Rob G.
In the place to be.
Two Truths and a Lie. The game is come up with 2 truthful statements and 1 lie and see if the group can guess which one is the lie. Who would like to go first?
Not me.
All right, I'll start it off. I'm scared. I'm gonna let Devin go ahead and keep eating his pico de gallo. So 2 truths and a lie. So I can't tell you which one is which. So I just retired from the military. I played and or coached baseball until my mid-30s, and I played for the St. Louis Cardinals.
See, he made them all sound like truths. I don't think the way he did it.
St. Louis Cardinals.
I don't think you played for the Cardinals though.
He did.
Okay.
That would be my answer too. He did not play for Louis Cardinals.
I'm gonna say
in the military for sure.
What was the second one?
I'm gonna say he did not coach.
Yeah, that was the second one.
What was the first one?
The first one was the military, but he already said he was in the Navy.
Exactly. Exactly right.
So,
Yo, be writing them down. Be writing them down.
Yeah, he's smart about it. That's that engineering books in the background.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'm gonna say he played for the Arizona Cardinals. Why not? I mean, what was the Cardinals? Was it the St. Louis Cardinals? St. Louis Cardinals. That's all baseball, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he played for the St. Louis Cardinals. Why not?
All right. So, obviously I did retire from the military. I just told everybody that. Second thing is that I did coach and I did until my mid-30s, and then I did actually try out for the St. Louis Cardinals, but I did not make it. Yeah.
I was correct. I picked number 3.
I won.
Yeah. I should have known because when you start going into a lot more detail, that's probably the truth. So once he said, if I did coach for,
right.
Yeah, I lost that. My bad. Who is next? Undeniable Vixen, you want to go next?
Okay, sure. So let's see. I work for the water company.
Okay.
I've also ran a half marathon.
Okay.
And I've been a beauty contestant pageant winner twice.
The first one is a truth.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna say that beauty pageant one's not true because that's an insult. You thought you were slick with that. You fucked me up.
Yeah, we're gonna say number 2 is right.
Like, fuck that. You won 2 beauty pageants. That's right.
Number 2 is a lie.
The beauty pageant one is a lie because it could be numbers. She could have won it once. She could have won it 3 times.
Oh, good.
That
was good.
Okay.
All
right.
Devin is definitely married. He know how to keep his ass out of trouble.
11 years, dog.
You good?
Yeah, we ready. What's that?
I don't know if Brandon guessed because he's writing them down. So
He said number 1 was a lie, I think.
Brandon Jones.
Which one?
I feel like number 1 was a lie. I don't feel like you work for the water company. I feel like you work for another company.
okay.
No.
The only reason I say, before you answer, but the only reason I say that number 1 is not a lie because she did say she has a full-time job.
Right.
That's true.
So that's the reason I'm saying that, but I think I'm going to ride with Devin on this one.
Okay. So I work for every utility but the water company. I work for the gas company.
That was
I work for the electric company, and I currently work for AT&T.
Okay.
So,
damn, B, that was good. You picked that.
Brandon must have been talking offline. You must
so
have
I've been a beauty pageant contestant winner twice. I won, and I ran a half marathon in Jamaica. Now, mind you, it's been a couple of years, but I did.
Still
And
I did it in Jamaica, which was wonderful. I loved it.
Love Jamaica. I love Jamaica.
My gosh, that particular run is the best run that you could ever do.
It's so beautiful there.
A 5, a 10K, and a half marathon.
Brandon, writing it down right now.
My trip to Jamaica just popped up on my timeline today.
He probably
wait for the quarantine to be over.
Probably thinking, do they still got that half marathon in Jamaica?
He ready
Mind
to
you, I walked and ran half of it, but I mean,
You finished. You crossed the finish line.
I finished it. I loved it.
All right. Who wants? Yo, do you want to go next?
Nah.
I'll go.
Brandon.
All right, you want to go? Oh my goodness!
It's gonna be some
Anybody who
This gonna be some shit.
I'm good.
Okay, I'm glad you said it because that's what I was saying. This is gonna be some shit.
So I visited over 28 countries. I circumnavigated the world twice, and I started running because I sprained my knee.
So one went extravagant and then like.
So you said you circumvented what?
Circumnavigated the world twice. I think the other one was I started running because I sprained my knee.
And the first one was 28 countries.
What?
The first one was 28 countries, right?
Yeah.
Number 3 is the lie. Number 3 is the lie.
Now, you know you're doing 2 truths and a lie, right? Because they all sound like the truth.
I think number 2 to lie because he did rattle off like 28 countries earlier.
Right. Yeah. I think number 2 is a lie.
27, not 28.
Yeah. Okay.
Undeniable Vixen. Look at you.
Yeah, that's good. So
I'm going with number
Number 3.
I'm gonna go with number 2 because I don't even know what the hell that even means.
It means going around the world. Right?
It means a distance.
Yeah.
Amount of
If he
miles.
went 28 countries, he probably went around the world a few times.
But see, he might actually count that with the miles that he run.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
See?
Ah.
Why would you start running if your knee hurts?
For training.
That's why I stopped running. My knees
Rehab,
were freaking out.
Stop running.
Yeah, but they could have said start running to strengthen your knee. That could have been
Right.
part of the rehab. They might have said
Yeah.
start jogging and then went.
Turned to
And he said, "Oh, I like
So they
this."
usually tell you to start
hit it with the Forrest Gump.
I don't know.
So then
I don't know.
that may eliminate number one then. Number one is a lie.
Wait, is B Forrest Gump?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with number one. Number one's a lie. I'm gonna go with number one being a lie.
I'm going with number one too. I'm going with number one.
Yeah.
So, what number one was over 28 countries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I think I've been to like 30 at this point.
Let me just leave me.
I've only circumnavigated the world once. That's basically when you take off. I flew around the world in one direction and just only went one direction to make my way back home. And that was when I went from San Diego to Jordan to Beijing and then back to San Diego.
See, it's the intelligent brothers that say what'd you say? What?
Exactly.
Circumcised. You been circumcised around the world.
Use that a lot in engineering. Like, see, you got to circumvent that building or something. He uses that in everyday language where that never comes up in my conversation.
My man says circumnavigate.
Never.
Listen, ass motherfucker. Yeah, and I sprained my knee breakdancing, and after which I started running.
Yeah, so number two was the lie.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you was a B-boy. All right.
Brandon's a Renaissance man.
Yeah. Oh, we already knew that because he's been around the world. And
Hey, Rob G, it's her birthday. It's Lisa's Stanfield's birthday this week.
I knew it.
Way to bring her full circle.
That's what I do here. Devin. Oh, not Devin. No one. Devin, you want to go? You want to go? All right.
It's a lie. Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go with I recorded and was nationally distributed music in the year 1997. Like a recorded album. The second one, I have 2 children under the age of 10. And my third, I have I have 2 cars. Easy enough.
What?
See, see with them kind of truths or lies, I gotta divert to the host because y'all know each other a lot better.
Yeah, you know. Everybody know that.
Yeah,
Except
some of us know the answers.
Yeah, and I think that number 2 might be a lie.
Because I'm pretty sure he dropped an album. Because he just seemed like he dropped an album.
Yeah, I believe that one. Now, what was number 3 that you said that you just had 2 cars? Is that what that was?
2 cars.
Yeah.
Easy enough. Make it easy for you.
I got 2 cars.
Because I was like, am I drunk?
Like, probably got
Number 2. All right.
I feel like one of them over 10.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
yeah.
a good thought.
That's a good
I
thought.
feel like number 2 is more truthful. So the first one.
Okay.
You feel like the first one's a lie?
I don't remember. I drunkenly don't remember what the first one was, but
Back to
What
it.
was the album?
But I know it was a lie.
I believe the album,
first-
and I believe you got at least 2 cars.
Okay. So just to re-clarify, because I think I kind of, like it was a little fragmented of how I quoted the first one. So the first one is that the first recording album that I appeared on and that was nationally distributed was year 1997.
Was he giving a record deal?
Number one.
Number one's a lie? Wait.
Yep, from a distance.
Number one. Everybody, a lot of people going with number one. I don't know if
She went with number, I think, Undeniable Vixen. You went with number what?
Number one.
You number one?
I think everybody went number one.
I went with number two.
You went with number two?
Yeah.
All right. So the answer is number one is a lie. The album was 96.
Oh, he was right.
Man, come on, man.
I'm like, there is no way a married man has one car. So no.
Yeah, and number two, I have two kids and they're both under the age of 10. They're 9 and 7.
I knew it was number one because I know you.
Yeah, right. I didn't know what year it was. That's why I did not think it was number one.
Well, yeah. Cancel other things out because you knew he had children under. I think his oldest is 9, so you can't.
I didn't know that.
And you know he has 2 cars, so one has to be a lie at some reason, even though you knew it was real because he had the music video. You saw the music video. Can you swing it?
No, no. I need you to post the music video.
Oh yeah,
We'll do.
Somebody,
you got to do that.
We'll do.
I should say 96 all over it.
Shimmy in the background. I need to see.
You will see.
That should say 96 all over that video, boy.
Yeah,
because I remember when I first seen it, Rob was like, "What year was this?" I said 96.
you look at it, it's 96 all day long.
Oh, dang.
But that was when the first 35 and 45 millimeter cameras were being used in music videos. So we were at the top of our game.
Yeah, but it still had that old Hype Williams looks to the video.
Yeah.
Like all I thought, touch me, tease me, all those cases video, all kinds of things.
Right, that one was out.
Yeah. All right, yo, you next. Cause Lou said skip him. Were you joking, Lou, or you was for real? Yeah, you was joking. No, you was for real.
What the fuck did he just say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh,
got new beer.
You got B-Mont?
What's that new beer?
Space Age Simple.
Okay.
Another flex.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he's a worldwide beer traveler. So he's like, you know I got in my case. Well, we know because he answered something on Instagram. He got over 50 beers at his house. So
Yeah.
I saw that. So yo, I guess you next.
I guess I'll go next. So let me see. So number one would be I've been in handcuffs 3 times, right?
True.
Hey, you know what? You gotta
You're married. You're married, right? You are married.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't even do the rest of them.
That's true.
Right.
I dropped the mixtape in 2013. Also, I've urinated on myself from being drunk.
I know he wanted to lie.
And the last one wasn't it. That's the truth.
I'm not gonna answer because
First you said, damn, everything negative she think is the truth. Oh, you been arrested 3 times? True. True.
You said handcuffs.
I asked you, were you married? And with the hand.
You know that foreplay stuff in the bedroom can get a little tricky, Yoda.
Oh, that's where you was going.
I didn't even know that's where she was going with that.
No idea. That's where she was
not
I'm
what
probably telling too much about myself.
Oh, yeah.
I said, oh, okay.
Freakazoid over here.
There you go. That was
All right.
That's the undeniable Vixen.
Undeniable freak.
That's the deniable Vixen.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna go with number 2 is a lie. That's what I'm gonna do. Number 2 is a
number
lie.
2.
Because ain't nobody dropping mixtapes in 2013.
Oh,
The year got you messed up, Leo.
Still come out with mixtapes.
Now you said 95, I got you.
all right. So
I'm going with number 1.
two.
Number one.
Number 1.
Number one's a lie.
I'm going with
Oh,
number
you know
2.
what? Because you thought, you know what? Because you thought about just handcuffs as far as being the police number 1.
Ooh.
Not in the friendly way that I thought.
He
Okay.
probably
So,
thought it was a lie, but then if he had to go back, he's been in handcuffs.
so number 2 was a lie because the mixtape came out in 2008 or 9, one of them. And,
You little convict, you.
yeah, there you go.
There go that mixtape, brother. I know.
Rap name 302. What was your rap name, Yoda?
What happened?
What was your rap name?
It was Emerge. It was Emerge back in the day. Yeah.
All right.
That's a dope name, y'all.
It's a
I
shame.
like that.
I like that.
It's a shame that everything else was true.
All right. So
And those did have those 3 handcuffs were by officers and not.
You need as
Don't
as
have to tell us.
Right.
B must diversify your palette and diversify your bedroom.
Ooh.
Oh, all right.
Yo, cut her mic off.
That's like another.
I like the way she think.
That's another.
The way she working.
Another startup.
That's for episode 69. You talking about you too early right
Bring
now.
me back.
You
Bring
can
me
go
back.
back
I got
on.
stories.
Hey, whatever Vixen is
I got
sensing, she
stories.
needs to quit now.
Right. Or she showed us that big old flask.
She ain't even drunk.
So this is
Oh, see,
my Branson 50 Cent.
yeah, that's where you get that them
SOP.
handcuffs.
So
Oh, nice.
I had 3 beers, so I was like, let's have liquor.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
no
getting
problem.
it in.
Now I have Lou's 3 Lives and the Truth.
Yeah,
He's
'cause he
texting
did
to me. Yeah. So his first one is I was a league MVP before. I have won a food challenge, and my name is in the Guinness Book for World Records.
Wait a minute. So number 1,
I was a
what
league.
league?
Oh, it just says the league.
Come on,
Any
Lou.
league.
What's up with
Any
that,
league.
man?
Basketball.
So that was true.
That was
Okay,
true.
basketball.
That's true.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that one's maybe.
His name is not in no Guinness Book of World Records.
Why you say it like that?
Damn, Devin.
Book of name, but not no
Like
Book of
that.
World Records.
I don't know why the fuck Lewis would be in a.
Nigga, you know my wife says motherfucker in college. You ain't in no Guinness Book of World Records.
High school.
You know.
How about with Devin?
Yeah.
I'm going with Devin.
What was it?
That's messed up, man. How many records is in the
What was the second one?
I won a food challenge.
It's a winner food challenge.
I think that one might be a lie.
You think that was a lie? So you think he's in the Guinness Book of World Records?
Yeah.
What do you think the Book
The
of World
nigga ain't
Records for?
say he was in the Guinness Book of World Records. He said his name.
Oh, yeah. So it's not necessarily him actually.
Pretty big book. So yeah.
footnote. I'm just a footnote.
Just a footnote.
Some Lou is in the good. Okay.
My name is in the book.
Oh, if you put it like that, then yeah, I gotta go with number 2 as well.
Yeah, I gotta go number. Damn.
Nah, y'all ready?
I don't know. What's the answer?
It's 3. The Guinness. I wasn't in the Guinness book. Yeah.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
It could have been a
Yeah, I know you too well, nigga. Second now.
I didn't get that certificate that day.
because it could have been somebody with your name that was in the Guinness Book of World Records.
He don't know.
All right. All right. I guess
That leaves you.
I guess that leaves me.
Yes, that leaves you.
Two truths and a lie. I have written 3 screenplays. I met Denzel Washington in Rehoboth Beach. And the last one is I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma.
Number 2.
So we're working with 1 and 2. Okay.
Well, we know the answer, so you can't.
Everybody knows the answer number 3.
Oh, it's true truths and a lie. So true or
So I ain't gonna say nothing. I'll let the guests figure
because
that
y'all
out.
know him. Y'all.
Yeah, that's why I ain't saying nothing.
What was the second one?
I met Denzel Washington at Rehoboth Beach.
And the only reason I'm hesitating on that because
He's from this. Well, he has friends here.
but not only that, but I think Antoine Fisher was filmed partly there, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know
Some of it, yeah.
right.
I mean, he's always here. He's actually always here. He's always
got a
at
house
Rehoboth
down there?
Beach.
I
Yeah.
think got a house in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, number 1.
I think that's feasible.
Brandon said number 1's the lie.
What was number 1?
I wrote
Screenplay.
3 screenplays.
Oh, okay.
It's either more or less. It's not only 3.
Oh,
Damn, I'm going with 1. I'm going with
thinking
1.
outside.
I'm
the
going with
box.
1. I'm
That's,
going with 1.
that's the engineer brain. He was thinking about like,
Yeah, I'm gonna change my answer to 1.
okay.
Or that could just be a niggas be lying brain. Like, hey, really got nothing to do with engineering.
Nah, I'm changing back to Denzel. Nah, I would have heard about this story.
14 screenplays.
Yeah.
No, Denzel pops up all the time, and people just casually meet him.
He met.
Yeah.
Now,
Amen.
he
Did you
said
see him?
I met.
Did he see him or did he
they
meet?
never had a beer together. They just said they met, and
Right.
they just
Met.
that
I
nigga.
said hello.
But
Hello,
that
shook
can
his
be a
hand.
handshake though.
Yeah.
I met Denzel because
It's
we
like
were
they had
past life.
acquaintance. Like
Before the coronavirus, that
Exactly.
could have been a handshake.
Exactly. Pre 2020. Yes.
Yeah.
Anything else is just a nod. Well, no.
Yo, I met Denzel just now. Yep.
What's up, bro?
Head nod. I met
Yo,
him.
a head nod from across the boardwalk like this don't mean you met him.
Nowadays.
If we locked eyes and heading out at the same time, we met.
All right. The lie is Denzel. I did not meet Denzel.
3 of them? I didn't know you wrote 3.
Yeah, I got 3 screenplays, and
He talked about it in like episode 61 or 2.
They all write 2 together?
no, we did 3 together. Yeah,
Okay.
and I wrote 1 by myself.
Yeah, that was on episode, what was that, 62?
No.
60 something. I don't know.
59, 60, something like that.
Yo, that was good though.
62.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I feel like I've done something wrong because I've listened to every episode. So
I feel like I've done.
So,
It was on-
so now I feel like I need to cut myself off because I didn't listen to something.
You did, and you didn't listen.
Well, I don't think
Listen to something.
I think they wanted to how many it was though.
We didn't go through
I
how
think-
many it was.
I think she did say, I think she mentioned it.
I don't remember the conversation of screenplays. I
It was the
don't.
one
do.
with the episode with AC Brown.
AC Brown.
Yeah, but it was a quick brief because we did one called Commuters, one called Catch 30, and one called Code of the Street. So we
I got
did
one in
3
my-
together.
I got one in my email.
Yeah, I thought she mentioned the number. I thought she said y'all shopped the screenplay. Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, we did shop in LA, but nothing came of it, obviously, or I wouldn't be. I might still be here, but
I wouldn't be fucking with y'all right now. You know?
Well, trade. You have a podcast and
that's what I said. I still
all that stuff.
I should have. No.
That's all right. It's all right, Undeniable. You're cool. It's all right.
Rob, what were the
I'm
2?
gonna
What
go
were
back and listen.
the 3 screenplays be equivalent to today? You said one was Power. What were the other 2?
One was Power. One was more like my best friend's wedding. Was Catch 30 was kind of like Catch 30 was like my best friend's wedding. Commuters was more like an indie film. It was about it was the time when I used to catch the train. I always see all the people that it actually came from it was a stupid story. It came from a woman I saw running to the train. Her hair was all wet, and I was like, "Why is her hair wet
Like,
and she run into the train. I'm like, what happened at home that she had to run out the house with her hair wet? So from there, I took the story and like, well, commuters all have different stories, but we all have that one thing in common that we got to get on this train every day to go to Philly. So that was the basis of that story. And so it took the stories outside of there, and then we all ended up at the train at the end of the story, obviously.
Yo, that's funny. I was watching Forensic Files this morning, and I was thinking, like, you know how many murderers you walk by a day and don't know?
That's true.
Think about it. Just think about it. These niggas walk around at Walmart.
I got my guard up every time I go around people now. I'm like,
yo, they was walking through Walmart and everything all hunky dory, and they just killed somebody. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Oh.
Have y'all watched The Hunter?
The Hunters? No, I want to watch that.
Oh, it's pretty good.
That one dude.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
You will walk right by this dude.
Yeah,
and
see.
he has the sweetest smile. He will completely fuck you up. And smile about it.
A new asshole.
Oh,
Yeah, see, that's crazy.
if there was a slavery version of The Hunters, I mean, it should have been underground, but The Hunters is good. The Hunters
Okay.
Check it out.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. Is that Netflix or what?
That's Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Okay, I got that.
Yeah.
I got it too.
So that's what Al Pacino in it, right?
Watch movies.
Right.
Yeah. I got all the time in the world.
Right.
My dude, Al Pacino, kills it.
They thought I was joking on Friday when I said I watched all of Ozark in one day.
That was good too. That was good. Man.
I watched Ozark season 3 and all in one day.
How was it? It was good.
Oh, so good.
Yep.
Yeah, they said season 3 is really good. So I'm
so
really
good.
tempted to watch it because I never watched it.
You got to catch up.
Jason Bateman's in it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Main actor.
So yeah.
There's one I like too. Is called Black Monday with Don Cheadle.
Yeah, that's good.
Don Cheadle. Okay,
Yeah.
Black Monday.
Yeah, that's on Showtime.
What's
Say
that?
that again, Lou.
What's it called?
Black Monday.
Black Monday.
Where is
It's on
that on Hulu or where?
No, you
It's on
said
Showtime.
Showtime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. I don't have Showtime, but we'll see. I might download it for that and
Just
cut
for
it off.
Yeah, because I mean the new season started now.
Free trial.
Yeah.
I've been dabbling thinking about CBS Access because of Picard.
Right.
I love the actor that does Picard. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm not a Star Trek fan, but Picard makes me enjoy Star Trek.
He make you want to put handcuffs on?
She said it though. She said makes me she didn't want to tell us. Makes me really okay. Wait.
I love him. I love his whole dynamic. I mean, he is just like
He be like
great. And I'm an Anglophile, so I love everything British. So there's a whole nother dynamic.
Clank.
Because nice lingerie, pantyhose, tights, whatever,
Just
whatever.
tie you up.
All right.
What's happening here?
All right. This is
Must be episode 69.
She turned this into episode 69.
Yo, Nello pissed that I drank out of her glass at
It's the VSOP with a little bit of Truly. So yeah.
Okay.
Ooh wee.
There you go. Yo, that's the instrumental to their song from '96.
11 on the Billboard charts. Don't get it fucked up.
Oh my gosh.
All right, it is time for the '90s R&B. Name that song.
Rob's gonna turn us all into Shazam.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I'm gonna start easy for Undeniable Vixen since she wasn't in the '90s like that.
Well, where's she at? Where'd she go?
She
said I'm out.
Right, she's like, this is not my segment.
Yeah, she's going to start the music. You start that music, she was like, oh shit, I'm out of here.
She's not gonna get this right, so go ahead and play it. It's like, no.
Yeah, I can start playing.
Oh,
What she said she was on?
she feels
Still
unplugged.
unplugged.
Oh,
I'll start easy. It's an easy one that we can always start with. Here we go.
Genuine pony.
Genuine pony. There you go.
I got 1 point.
You always give yourself
Wait a minute, we tied, D.
Leo did say it quickly. I didn't see you say. I didn't hear you say anything, Devin.
You didn't hear me?
I didn't hear you. I heard Leo.
That was my voice. You just was looking for Leo.
Yo, damn quick to give himself a point, yo.
1 point for me. 1 point for Luke.
I will tell you this: there is not a day that Pony is played. Like actually, Pony's played every day around the world at some point.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Wow.
Baby got back too.
But Pony more.
Yeah.
But we know what being to. BB like,
He has to admit the
I
world.
didn't know how much people enjoyed Pony until I watched, because I am a very big SNL person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old enough to be there when the premiere started. I watched it.
Uh-huh.
And they did a
She
show of SNL.
Uh-huh.
People were doing they were in a courtroom.
Okay.
And they had not had lunch, and so their stomachs were gurgling, and so it was sounding like the different sounds from Pony.
Oh.
It was so fucking funny. Oh, yes.
And Brandon been around the world, so he heard it in Rome, he heard it in Slovakia.
Fire in Korea.
yeah, that probably be go-to.
Right, they play that shit like it came out like it debuted.
I could definitely hear it in Japan for sure.
Yeah. They love him over there.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. And he's another easy one, I would think.
Hey. Yeah.
No diggity.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, see, you do know. You do know the 90s R&B. You said no diggity.
No, that's probably it.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, do the 90s. I don't.
Like the way you work it. No diggity.
He like trying to show off his singing skills.
Hey, you want to usher?
All right, yeah, you know, Devin
got that one.
I said me.
What year that come out, man? What year that come out, man? I know you know.
That came out in 97?
98.
No, it was earlier than that. It was
98.
94.
I
would say 94 because he was only like 16, 17 when that joint came out, right?
Oh no! I was going up to the UD dorms. I was going up to the UD dorms at that time.
It's 98.
It had to be
98.
like
Did you say you
98,
graduated
97,
college?
I was going up to the dorms around that time.
98 is right. Yeah.
It had to be 97, 98. He had to be like.
Only like
Look, she holding her head. I was going to the UD dorms around this time. I remember.
I was still in high school.
Just don't say you graduated high school, because I'm gonna pass out.
Well, 96 I did.
It was actually 2013. It was that's not 2013. I don't know why they put that there.
97, 98.
Yeah, it had to be 97, 98.
Yeah,
I said 97, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
I remember hearing it first grade.
1997, August 12th, 1997.
There it is.
Yep.
They make fun of me all the time. Because like I pay homage to Usher. Usher and I are the same age and we both were in the same industry. So like I basically I would follow Usher.
Why is Lou laughing?
I was looking at Rob's face.
When they say the Starbucks president first
I'm like, okay, let me look like
First, get the barista.
Oh man!
Versus an R&B star.
Wait. Did you go on tour like Usher?
I did music full time in the 90s.
right.
I was a solo artist in the 90s, in 96.
We give you that.
I lived in California. I toured the United States. I didn't leave the country touring, but I toured the United States in the 90s. 96 when I graduated from high school.
All right, we give you that.
Wow. Okay.
All right, here's another one. Here's another probably easy one.
It's just one of them days.
See?
Undeniable Vixen, you know all these songs.
Right.
Yo, somebody was backsliding.
Right.
Backsliding shit.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go too deep in the crazy stats to make you that.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it kind of easy
Like
enough.
kinda
I'm not
hits,
gonna go to like
LL Cool J back.
like ideal. Like you wouldn't probably know ideal. I wasn't gonna go that deep in the crazy. Like
Damn.
Yeah.
I was gonna go
So
with hits.
basically, if you have a post, you know this.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, like
Here I am.
these are hits. These are hits from the 90s.
Right. I'm not gonna. I wasn't gonna do that bad. I wasn't gonna do that to you.
You know, they at least made it to the what was those CDs called back in the day? Like the Wild Greatest Hits or
exactly.
whatever.
Kids Bop 98.
The single tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember going to get the single cassettes of my favorite artists.
Exactly. There you go. All right. Here's another one.
My name's
Destiny Child Bills.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Destiny Child Bills.
What did you say, Noah? Yoda?
Was it say my name? Oh, it was Bill. Was it Bills?
It wasn't Bills.
Bills.
Technically, it's Bills.
Bills.
Oh, get out of here!
Bills to
So Devin, you're wrong.
Leo and I got it right. Leo and I got that.
I knew it was some Destiny Child song.
This
It was like the AEIOU song. That's the way that melody sound.
when I played this earlier, this was like the hardest one. When I played this game earlier, this was the hardest one that people could not get. So let me go with that one.
This is for my homies.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't remember the name of them. What's their
I know it. Gangsterline.
What's the name of them? R&L, what's their names?
DRS.
DRS. I knew it was some letters.
90? What's that, like 91?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
It was definitely the early 90s.
I don't know what. It's just early 90s. I think it was like 93, 94.
You had to let that rise right now.
There it is, right there.
Okay.
You like
Now I
what?
get it.
This 44.
That video was horrible. Them niggas look like they was from the hood too. Like, you know, I normally once you get a video, you look all right in the video. Nah.
And back in the 90s,
I love your smile, Shanice.
Yeah.
Yes, I love you, smile.
Chris Brown.
I love
See,
you.
you know every song Undeniable Vixen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's popular?
Yeah.
Well,
I really did think that y'all were gonna go deep.
I wasn't
we
going
wouldn't
to
do
No.
that wouldn't be no fun. It'd take too long.
Right.
Give her some Prince from the 90s.
Yo, this dude.
Oh,
She like Prince from the 90s. Give her some Prince, Rob.
Oh, the Batman soundtrack?
Wait. I think I got one. I'm gonna text you, Rob.
I know it.
Hey, you better name it. You doing that dancing? You better name the song.
Oh wait! Oh shit! Shit! I will fall. I think that's what it's called.
Nope.
It's called Fall.
Nope.
No.
Oh my god!
Yo, Rob, give her that easy one. I just sent you.
It is called 7.
Oh God.
You know what?
Oh shit!
It sure is. It sure is.
I I think the one I gave you is from the 90s.
Oh! Huh?
Thieves in the Temple.
There you go.
Thieves in the Temple.
Yes.
You weren't lying. See that?
Here's another one, and maybe easy. It's not Prince, but some people might get it.
Janet Jackson, anytime.
Yeah. Anytime, any place. There you go. Yeah, I see ya.
Yeah, I was just listening to that shit last night.
Somebody got pregnant last night of that.
That is my shit.
I would have gotten it in the first couple of clips.
Yeah, well, I got that shit the first second. I was like, yep, heard it last night.
All right, there it is, Rob. That intro gonna throw her off.
Maybe not. Now she a super fan.
We'll see.
That's it. That's all you got.
That's all you get.
I can't think if I can hear it.
Yo, what was
Play it again for him, Rob. Intro only.
Oh, man.
Diamond Pearls.
Yo, he let this.
Pearls, yeah.
Well, I had to give him that because I was going.
First.
Yeah, when I parked, that was
You got it.
Yo, that intro was.
They would have never got it if I would have kept on going. With the,
Never.
I never even noticed that.
My love for Prince comes from my mother.
Oh, yeah.
Because he came to Dallas every New Year's Eve.
All right.
And I am a baby because I'm an only child. I went to every concert. I've been to James Brown since I was 3 years old. I've been going to concerts.
Nice.
Nice.
But I could never go to a Prince concert because
Doing too much. His ass was always out.
Right.
Ass out with high heels on. You can't do that
when
shit.
Purple Rain came out, I was like, come on, take me to a concert.
No way.
Fucker got on all his clothes. No, I went.
Oh, you did.
Purple Rain came out, but he had all his damn clothes on.
You was mad. You was mad.
You was mad about that?
All right, so we got two more before we wrap up. Two more before we wrap up. This is probably easy because this was my high school prom.
Oh.
1999. Sorry. Hey, turn on the
Yeah. That's all. Just got a reverb.
Who's the buy?
I don't remember his name. Return to the Mac by
I don't know that
now.
name.
Bob, I don't even think you know.
Oh, I know. I've always known.
Robert always known. That's his karaoke shit too.
That's my karaoke song. Mac Morrison, baby.
Mac Morrison.
Oh, yeah. Yo, anybody ever heard a second song from Mark Morrison?
Nah, nigga.
Nope.
He ain't need a second song. He ain't need one.
You don't.
He was good.
That was good. That's all he needed.
Yeah, that's all he needed. Return to the Mac. That's all.
He got Burger King on the side.
I know I'm in the lead. I'm just gonna make that statement now.
Nah, he just had he had to have a song before that though, because why was the Mac returning?
Right. What was the intro?
Where'd he go?
Yeah, where was he returning from?
Well, he was. It was a world song, so maybe he was from. Maybe it was popular somewhere else.
Yeah,
Because he English. Isn't he English?
I think so. Yeah.
It looks like.
Oh.
he said he looked like.
Leo, you said he looked like it.
Hey, I might have said that.
What's that? What's that, B?
That was a put of Mac Morrison, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's what, yo, that's what B picture looked like. Like it should have been one of them covers.
Yeah.
Turn to the back cover.
He just needs a lion next to him.
Enact that picture. Hold on. How am I trying to react it?
That was my. All he was missing was the what was the bamboo. The bamboo
Yeah, the bamboo. Nigga look like he had a tiger.
Bamboo chair and the spear.
And a tiger.
Tiger.
Nope.
Damn right.
Yo, that shot was $20. That was the hottest backdrop out.
Oh, that shit funny.
Absolutely.
Yo,
No, okay.
I remember.
Okay, I'll give you two more.
he can't stop. He can't stop. Won't stop. Won't stop.
Because this one was this tripped some people up because it sounds similar to another song. So.
Sensitivity.
Sensitivity.
Come on, I don't know that.
You got that.
Look, that's B shit.
He kind of looked like Ralph Tresvant.
He had that on his mixtape in high school, bro.
He got it right now. He's like, I'm jamming that right now.
Yo, he had that as his voicemail music.
He play that shit in the background. Just press the button.
Now he man, warm and sensitive. That's what.
Yeah, you reach B. I can't get to the phone right now.
So Ralph was killing them back in the day. Oh no.
So, do y'all believe that Ralph did Bobby Brown's ad-libs for?
Yes.
Yeah,
I believe that.
Because I listened to a podcast that said that he said no, he didn't do it. I believe
it.
Yeah, he did it.
He did.
Yeah.
I believe he did it, and I believe Carol killed her husband.
That bitch
Carol fucking Baskin definitely has some fancy
Yes. And you
Those
know,
are two things I believe.
Why did you bring that up?
no, she's in
on his way to Turks and Caicos.
He's in the jail right now, and he's trying to get out because of the corona.
Yeah.
He's been diagnosed with the corona.
They let
Takashi
out.
They let him out, but
that's because he snitched.
Hey, they let him out though.
They let him
but
out.
why are you trying to get out? And you know that people coming for you.
Because can't nobody come out with this quarantine.
Right, there you go.
Exactly.
Have you seen the Twitter for
So that means
YGC?
you can get out of prison, go somewhere, and nobody know where you went.
Right. Yep.
I was literally at the wharf, just dancing like it's a happy sunny day, like nothing is going on.
Hey.
Back to the comment about Ralph doing Bobby Brown's parts. For years, Nathan Morris did the baritone notes for Mike in Boys II Men.
Oh, really? Didn't he?
I bet you that nigga didn't do. I lied when I told you I never wanted to.
Yeah, nobody do that like that, motherfucker.
I know that off of that end of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Mike all day.
That was Mike all day. We gonna give him that.
The scoliosis, he couldn't actually record a lot of the time, so they still had to make albums. So Nate used to do all of his parts.
Now this was
sidebar monologues in a song. They're great. I like them.
I know, right? That was back in the day.
Best monologue is
Welcome to the
Owen
ring.
Jones.
Yep.
Yes!
Welcome to the ring.
Yeah.
You scully butt wags. Don't tell women.
Yes. Shirt. I have my orange just Jones t-shirt.
that was the best one. That's probably the bar.
That's the top. Yeah, that's the bar right there.
That is the bar. Yeah.
This was like the hard. This was like the hardest. This was like one of the hardest '90s R&B songs to guess. That when we played it the other day, it was like the hardest one to guess. So
okay, let's hear it.
ABC.
Oh, that's TLC.
Oh, I know that song.
That's
you got to live and learn. You got to live and learn.
Oh, you did right.
Damn, that was good.
Thank you.
That was good.
Y'all can hear me through my Wi-Fi? Could y'all hear me good through my Wi-Fi?
Yeah, you got that. Live and learn. You got that. Most people didn't.
Yeah, that was good.
Who's the artist? I don't know who the artist is though.
Joe Public.
That was good.
Joe Public.
I don't know who is that.
Joe Public.
Go.
when I was playing, I was like, I remember the song, but I would never got it from that intro. Like, that could have been like any other thing, like especially like the New Jack Swing type of song.
Yeah, it could have been TLC. It could have been.
The beat would have dropped. It could have been anything.
What'd you say, Leo?
I said one Joe Public with like R. Kelly or something.
No, that was public announcement.
That was public announcement.
Yeah.
I don't know who Joe Public is. Joe Public is less famous than Mark Morrison.
There was a band, but that's it. Like,
right. I couldn't find. I could tell you who Mark Morrison is. Joe Public. If I saw him in public, nope.
Nah. He would never
Joe
see
Public.
Joe
Public
ain't introvert.
Joe Public.
That needs to be called Joe Private.
What is your top? Because there's been so many IG battles. What is your top IG battle that you would like to see?
Oh, wait.
Well, last night was actually a great battle.
T-Pain.
I missed it.
T-Pain and
Lil Jon. That was good.
Lil Jon was great.
Ooh,
that was a great battle.
Teddy Riley is tonight.
Is it? I gotta catch that.
They canceled it. They postponed it.
Nah. Oh man.
They postponed Teddy Riley and Babyface.
Damn, I need that.
Ooh-wee.
But like I told you, the Neo and Jonta Austin joint was good.
So what are they doing? They just the artists are just being a DJ, or are they playing their songs?
They playing their song. They're like going back and forth in terms of their hits. Going back, like Manny Fresh and Scott Storch was a mismatch.
Yeah, because he like Manny Fresh got murdered. Like
that was brutal.
That's embarrassing.
Because Manny Fresh was an inside producer. He just did the Hot Boys, and that was it.
The only time he won was when he dropped like T.I. joint. Because T.I. joint was it.
Yeah, and Jeezy, he did one Jeezy song like
anything in-house except Go DJ. Anything else except Go DJ was like kind of a loss.
Yeah.
Especially against Scott Storch. Now maybe anybody else, maybe he would have won.
I know
Scott Storch got like Beyonce.
Yeah, he throwing shit like Baby Boy and shit like
he got too many hits. He shouldn't even
do that.
But that's because T-Pain backed out of that one.
He backed out. That's what I heard you say.
T-Pain said, "No, that's not." I know.
Yeah, he suckered out.
Yeah,
well, he knew.
So is this a bracket? Is it a bracket going on, or is it just
they go on live?
This is live. I'll send it to you, Lou.
They should be brackets. So they should have thought this out. It should have been brackets like the tournament.
It's like 20 best hits, so they go back and forth, 20 hits.
Okay.
Each. But I think Swiss Beats said his dream. I know Timbaland said his Swiss dream one, which I would love to see, but I know it ain't gonna happen. Was Kanye versus Pharrell, because Kanye ain't gonna do it.
Shit.
Kanye ain't got it.
Kanye don't even know what songs this is, right?
Right, exactly. So that's why he wouldn't do it.
It's funny to me that the novice person that's coming on, especially Twitter, and they're wanting I want this person versus this person, and they don't realize that if you take out the samples and just pure music, your artist sucks.
Some of them, yeah. That's true.
And I mean, and just being able to put producer to producer, the people that you should be going up for, you don't even fucking know.
Yeah, and see, that's why I like the Neo one, because it was more on the writing side than just the actual like beats and all that stuff. They was going versus back and forth for the writing aspect of it, and I thought that's what made that one dope.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was the end of our Name That 90s Tune Sound. So we are wrapping up. But before everybody goes, how can they find you on Instagram or Twitter or wherever? We can start with Leo, because I know you got to roll out.
Man, I am BarrelsnLeafs. Barrels, the letter N, Leafs, Leafs, on any platform you can think of. It don't matter. You can email me at barrelsnleafs at gmail.com. And like I said, social media is BarrelsnLeafs everywhere.
Well, he said on any platform. You gonna look him up on Pornhub.
Ask about me, nigga. Ask about me.
He gonna be on Pornhub like BarrelsnLeafs.
He is in California.
He gonna have a leaf covering his jaws.
Hey, thank you.
With a cigar in his mouth.
Oh my God.
Yo, what was B saying? I couldn't hear him. What did he say?
That's why you got asked about handcuffs, because you immediately went to Pornhub.
Exactly, yeah. That is facts. Undeniable Vixen, how can they reach you?
So it is _undeniable_Vixen. But if you put in the Undeniable Vixen, you will find me on IG as well as Facebook. And
Awesome.
you'll be able to catch me at the nearest festival as soon as the fucking quarantine is over.
D, I can't wait to get up out this motherfucker.
Right. I'm sure everybody, that's everybody's thought. And Mr. Montgomery, how can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter under BlackBeerTravelers. Once you see the logo, you in the right place. Diversify your palette. Type it into your URL, your link button, and Black Beer Traveler, Black Beer Travelers. Diversify your palette. You will get to the right place. And yeah.
Dang,
All right.
Google me.
Good.
Right though. Yeah, I saw we made it. We made it on the list on his when you look onto the website. We made it to the list.
We famous, yo.
Nice.
Glassware. Buy your glassware.
Yeah. I got my little ones. I got two little ones that I got from them as well.
Yeah.
The 9 with the 9 ounces? With a 9 ounce glass?
Yeah, I think so.
With 6 ounces.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like 6 ounces is a good amount to like taste, but then you can also use like the bottom half for like 1 to 2 ounce kind of like if you had a bottle share.
Yeah. So I got two of them here. So yeah, shout out. All right, yo.
You can find me 302 Yoda on Instagram at 302 Yoda or on Instagram and Facebook at Delaware on Grind. Go.
For all your beer needs, Lou Belgium. For all your t-shirt needs, In the Margin Tees. I'm on them Instagrams.
I can hear you clearly, but I could not hear.
Yeah, that mouth would not move.
Did not move.
Doesn't matter. You hear me?
I can hear you.
We've already established this. We've already established this.
I was like, "Damn, this nigga turned into a ventriloquist."
And I am a firm believer in his campaign ad he just ran.
All right, Devin.
You can find me on the Instagram at DevinAaron_the_great.
That's it.
All right.
That's it.
Okay.
That's
And you can
it.
find Bruising Banter Podcast at Bruising Banter Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Make sure you check us out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Make sure you rate and review. 5 stars only.
Yeah.
Until next time, I must say rest in peace to Bill Withers.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. So peace.